Hello and welcome to the Ant-Man channel. It is your host, as usual, and it is Saturday, the 4th of January 2014. Now, I don't usually do this, but I found a very interesting article right now, and I woke up just on fire for some reason, because I was listening to my friend, and I was listening to his testimony, and I was just like amazed by it, because um, it really is cool when you see your own friends and your own family waking up to stuff, because it's just, oh man, I mean, it's just amazing. I can't imagine how much more this is going to happen this year. I can expect that to happen. I think I can say, because I mean, we're only, spiraling more down the hellhole as we go, so you can only expect people to wake up. But I've got an article in front of me from ClashDaily.com. It is called "From Men to Boys: 5 reasons we are witnessing the end of men" by Clash Daily, January 3rd, 2014. Well, in a society where everything's about sex, and women are the ones that give the okay to go in and have sex, but if you're a Christian, you keep that till after you're married. But anyways, what happens with that is that men go around chasing women all day and not having any, say about anything. This is a bad thing, because see, Hitler once said that once you get the kids, then you get the women, and then the men follow. So now we see a kind of like a Hitlerian type of philosophy coming to fruition in the United States, because everything's about sex. Everything. It doesn't matter what you know. It does. Nobody cares about integrity. Come on. One, it's the end of men because men are failing in the workplace. Over the last few decades, men's income have been slowly declining and women's have been rising. Yeah, actually, if you go and look at the actual percentages and the polls and the statistics, women, there are more women working in America now than there are men. That's pretty amazing. And there are more people on welfare than there are people actually working, too. That's pretty scary. Last year, 1 in 5 men were not working, something economists call the biggest social crisis we will face. This is, party? I think he meant to put partly. Partly, this is because the economy is changing quickly, but men aren't. Well, you could say that again. I think men are feminized to a very great, deal, in my opinion. You see, you're not allowed to express your opinions and your whatever you think these days. It's Have you ever seen that movie Idiocracy by Mike Judge? And like, whenever you say a big word, someone calls you a fag. That's where we're living now today. So me being as spiritual as I am and talking about things that have to do with wisdom, it's very easy for someone to say something like that. And people do, and it's scary, because it's like, whoa, Idiocracy was made not too long ago. That movie wasn't made too long ago. And when I saw that movie, I was like, dang, that's a very crazy future that guy imagined. But now, when I look at that movie, it makes me sad, because it's like, that's real. Like, that's actually real. Like, it sucks. As the manufacturing economy gets replaced by a service and information economy, men are failing to adjust or get the skill they need to succeed. Two, it's the end of men because the traditional household popped up by the male breadwinner is vanished. For the first time in history, women all over the world are marrying down, meaning marrying men with worse prospects than they have. Well, here's the thing with women. A lot of women, even believers, and I don't mean to do this to you believing women Christians out there, but, it's good to take in Todd Friel's word, a shellacking once in a while, because it's good for you. But Christian women tend to do this evangelizing, dating evangelism, where they date people they're not equally yoked, because they're dating a worldly guy. And if a guy isn't after God's heart, he shouldn't be after yours. In all honesty, because as a male, I will tell you right now, all we think about is booty and whatever, fleshly lust things that come to our mind, unless we're disciplined. So there's the if factor. If you're not equally yoked, then you're living in a worldly relationship where it's all revolved around things that don't really matter when it comes to prosperity, when it comes to success financially, even having a healthy relationship. You won't have a healthy relationship living unequally yoked. For the first time in history, blah 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 blah. So yeah, even marriage is like a bad thing nowadays. People look at it like, why would you get married? Well, first of all, it's a it's a Christian thing, first of all. And it's something straight out of the devil's playbook to try to make marriage something that is between a man and another man or a woman and another woman. Marriage is a Christian thing. It came from God and the Bible, regardless what you've been indoctrinated to believe. We have a new global type, for example, called the alpha wife, a woman who makes more money than her husband or boyfriend. Not that long ago, she was exceedingly rare. Now she's part of about 40% of couples in the U.S., and that does not count the growing number of single moms who had their own families. Oh man, if I were to, I can't even number the women that I see that are pushing a stroller by themselves these days. Where are the men? Where are you guys out there? Is it like cool to just abandon all responsibility these days? I guess it is, but hey, it's not my fault I'm irrelevant. I'm just a Christian. What do I know? 3. It's the end of men because we can see it in the working and middle class. When I speak at public universities with commuter populations about the disappearance of men, the women find what I am saying to be totally obvious, like the sky is blue and Miley Cyrus is whacked. Oh yeah, Miley Cyrus is whacked. That's kind of obvious, but you guys pray for her. I know it's easy to make fun of stupid people like Miley Cyrus, but let's pray for them. Let's not just, hey, we're clever and we can make clever jokes about people. Let's take a very, very sincere approach to this. She's a human being and she's probably lost, so let's just pray for her. We know that fame can do ugly things to people, and so does that false perception of beauty. Because beauty isn't on the outside, in my opinion, it's on the inside. It's who you are on the inside that makes you beautiful. Whatever's on the outside, if you think that's beautiful, it could probably hinder you from becoming something great. It probably is blinding you in a lot of ways. But anyways, the working class feels the end of men the most, as men lose their jobs and lose their will to be fathers. And women do everything alone, creating a virtual matriarchy in the parts of the country that used to be bastions of good old macho country music style values. I don't know about that. When I see a guy with a freaking cowboy hat on, I want to slap him. I'm just kidding. But seriously, I'm not into that stuff, man. There's a lot of hokey stuff out there that I'm not into, like gangbanging and whatever. That's why we're all different, right? We gotta love that we're all different. We can't be like, hey, you're different, I don't like you. We gotta accept one another. But, there's certain things that go along with that, stereotypically go along with certain things that you can't help but sometimes fall into. But renew your mind, bro. Renew it. 4. It's the end of men because men have lost their monopoly on violence and aggression. If you know me, then this is the main topic I talk about all day long. How being a man nowadays means that I bow up my chest. It means I talk like this. And it means that I go around being exaggerating about how tough I am. You see, this is a sign that you're actually a weenie, because real tough guys like that go in the cage in the UFC, they don't walk around acting like tough guys. They're actually really nice people. But hey, what do I know? Women are becoming more sexually confident, and something Camille Paglia has been waiting for. More aggressive and violent in both ways, in both good ways and bad. That is going to war, going to jail, and in the case of the Real Housewives of New Jersey, beating up anyone who knocks a drink out of their hand. Yep, we live in that decadent society where it's all about me, I'm awesome, I love myself, I'm God, and if you do anything to disrespect me, I ought to slap you in the face or beat you up. That's pride. That's pride, and it's not good for you. The Bible says that pride is a blinding factor. It is. It really is, because you don't understand things correctly when you have pride. Pride is an ugly thing, my friend. I've dealt with pride for many years. I was very self-righteous for a long time. I used to deal with pride for a long time. I used to think I never did anything wrong, and I never deserved anything wrong to be done to me. And if anyone did anything wrong to me, then I should go back and do it 10 times worse to them. That's how I used to think. And I actually used to do that. I used to get in a lot of fights when I went to school. I used to pick on people. But look at me now. I think that the only reason I am the way that I am is because of this book. It's called the Bible. A lot of people hate it these days because they've been indoctrinated to think about it in a way that isn't true. 5, it's the end of men because men too are now obsessed with their body hair. And her truly, okay, I'm going to pick on a lot of you guys right now out there. You see my eyebrows? I have some very thick, bushy eyebrows. I'm not ashamed of that. If you like it or not, it's kind of not my worry. I'm not worried about it. I would like you to like it, but if you don't, then that's not my problem. But I think that that's just being a little too vain, in my opinion. But anyways, men, I went to a barber shop the other day, and they wanted to wax my eyebrows. This woman wanted to cut my eyebrows. I was like, you're out of your mind. I'm not going to do that. She's like, it would look nice. Just a little bit. It would look so nice. Look, woman. Look, I'm a man. I don't care that much about how I look. This is something that goes on with men today. They're a little too feminine, in my opinion, when it comes to how you look. You shouldn't care that much, man. I mean, don't you have better things to think about, like maybe hitting a punching bag or, throwing some weight around? I don't know. Whatever it is you do that's masculine. Why the hell are you worried about your eyebrows for? You know what I mean? Like, that's a woman thing. Like, it's just, that kind of thing worries me a lot. I understand if you were in weight training class when you were in high school and your testosterone is now shot. You're 30 years old. You have to go to TRT replacement therapy or whatever you have to do because your marriage is failing, whatever. Dude, I understand that. But if you're a normal guy like me and you still have testosterone pumping out of your nostrils, I guess, because I got it all day. But why is it that you're into doing your nails, doing your hair, doing your eyebrows? This is all feminine stuff, dude. This isn't stuff that men think about. And hey, I know we're all different. I know that there's guys that are into like, cosmology or whatever, dude. Like, there's all kinds of guys that are into stuff like that. And that's okay. I don't have nothing against that. But there's a thing with that I see that it reminds me of ancient Egypt. Remember the ancient Egyptians, how they used to paint their faces and wear all this gold and be all decadent? We do the same thing now. It's in a different form though. We don't do it like the Egyptians, but we do it in our own way. We do it by, hey man, like, if you want to be in the in crowd, you want to be cool, you got to do this and you got to do that. And it's not, I don't do any of that, and I get along just fine, you guys. A lot of people might think, hey man, that guy, he's really not in step with society. So, he's not really, this is the thing that they say nowadays. He knows the business. He's got the business, bro. He knows the business. It's just, I want to slap myself when I hear that because it's like, what are you talking about? But anyways, that's just nonsense. You don't have to be like that. You could just be whoever you are, man. I mean, men should love to take responsibility seriously because if you're a man, you say, I can do all things. And I say I can do all things through Christ who strengthens me because I'm a Christian. But you're supposed to take these things on as challenges. You know what I mean? Like, hey, I'm a man. I can do that. You know what I mean? Not, I'm a man, I'm going to run away and put my thumb in my mouth. Like, that's kind of like how it is nowadays. People are openly cowardly nowadays. Like, hey, did you know that you always hear these rumors like there's no freedom of speech? Did you know that? Oh, dude, if you see something, don't try to be a hero. Don't try to do the right thing, bro. There's open cowardliness out everywhere you look now. It's sad. But anyway, in her true endlessly hilarious book, Caitlin Morin catalogs the travails of being a woman. One of them being the unacceptability of hair anywhere on the body. If that is a sign of patriarchal oppression, then I counter it with Exhibit A. This is, of course, Anthony Weiner's chest. And as you can see, the landscape is meticulously tended. I mean, he has called the exterminator and made sure the weeds are dead and gone. And if you asked him, why are you so shorn, Mr. Weiner, do you think he would say the matriarchy made me do it? No, he would not, and neither should we. Well, this is from time.com, men are obsolete. It's almost illegal now in our time to act like real men, because real men express themselves. Real men do a lot of things that are counterproductive, considering what the agenda is in this government, in this administration, I mean. Because we're all supposed to just be liberal and loving and get along no matter what. Well, my God tells me I should accept you. I should love you. I should have compassion toward you. But if you're living a sexual immoral life or you're living these whatever, I'm not I'm not supposed to just be like, oh, cool, dude, you're in my in crowd, you're my apostle, or whatever, dude. I'm not supposed to accept your deeds. You, on the other hand, you're an individual, influenced. Everything that we do is an influence. Somebody else has done it. We are a creature that when we see something, we tend to do it. Because it's like, it's just the way we learn. We learn by seeing and we copy other people. So everything's an influence. Whether you're influenced by your father, the devil, or you're influenced by your father, God, because you're adopted through Jesus Christ. Either way, the programming is thick. I know a lot of you guys probably don't understand what I'm saying, and this is probably Chinese to you. But, it's not to me. And I think that this is common sense for most people. But we're living in the postmodern era where most people think that this is all mumbo-jumbo and nothing matters and nothing's real. But I could tell you straight up that a lot of our problems in this country have to do with the men that don't do anything. We're just kind of just sitting around doing this. We're all just sitting around doing that all day. And it's like, we have real work to do. When we don't do it, and then, I don't believe in a future that's going to happen no matter what, but I do believe in a future that's going to happen if we don't do anything. That's what I believe in. I believe that there is a out-of-control administration. I believe that they are setting up FEMA camps for your ass. Excuse my language, but I have to say it because it sorrows me to know that you guys are going down a path that it's leading you to a fiery furnace, and I'm just sitting here and I'm like, and I hear Christians nowadays like, who are you to tell people this? You're not supposed to impose your religion on. No, dude, understand me when I tell you that this is true. This is actual fact. This is actually real, and you have to take into consideration these things. You can't. How valuable are your eyes? I'm going to go back to doing the living waters thing because it's what they do is beautiful. Would you ever sell your eyes for what if somebody wanted, what if somebody were to give you $8 million for both of your eyes? Would you do it? How valuable are your eyes? Imagine how valuable is your soul. How valuable is that to you? But anyways, you guys out there, if you're a man and you're listening to me right now, act like one. Please, for the love of your country, at least. If you don't believe in God, at least for the love of your country, do something about that. We're not meant to be liberal in the sense of what it means today, where you accept everything, everything's cool, there are no boundaries, there's no morals, there's no anything. You have to learn that the founding fathers made it very clear in this country that a morally upright society is the only type that can govern itself. And we have the type of government that we're supposed to be the leaders. We are, not the dictator, not the government, not whoever's in the executive power. The people have the power. So we're supposed to use our voices. And what do you have? What gangbanger dribble do you hear nowadays? If you see something, don't say anything. Be a coward. Don't snitch on people that are obviously evil and don't have anything good for anyone. Do the opposite that people are telling you. Be good. Trust me. You are storing treasures in heaven for eternity when you do that, man. I don't even know how much to say, but I can go on all day about this, and I can rant about this all day, and I do all the time, but I'll leave you to your thoughts. There's a statistic that men don't actually grow up nowadays until they're like 29 or 32 or something like that. They're not independently, financially independent, they're not grown up, they don't think maturely. That's a normal statistic. Just 2 generations ago, the baby boomers, those people were moving out of their houses and getting married when they were 18 years old. Why do you think that was? I'll leave you to your thoughts. And with that, God bless you. Have a nice weekend. Watch some UFC today. Woo!